Well, numerous anti-vaxxer groups sprang up at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and most notably in the United States, in vocal opposition of their government's vaccination drives. But now it seems South Africa is going through the very same thing. A group calling itself the Freedom Alliance of South Africa has filed court papers to review and set aside the use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. However, according to constitutional law expert Professor Pierre de Vos, the more than 700-page document is actually a non-starter. He says there are at least 3 glaring inconsistencies in the application, which means it will never even get to the courts. He speaks to us now, joining me this morning. Prof. Pierre de Vos, a pleasure having you this morning. Thank you for your time and good morning. I think before we get into your view on this matter, what exactly are the contents from the Freedom Alliance of South Africa? What are they saying in these 700 pages they've filed before the courts?
So basically, they are saying that the registration and approval by SAPRA for the Pfizer vaccine specifically should be reviewed and set aside because it breaches various provisions of administrative law and so on. And they do so by claiming, firstly, that the vaccine is not effective in any way, and secondly, that it is deadly, that when you take the vaccine, you are likely to have adverse effects and even die, and that there's a direct link between the vaccine and, say, getting cancer, dying, and whatever. So that is the claims they make in their document.
And what's your view of this? I mean, I'm sure you have a very strong opinion about this. What is your view?
Well, I don't think they really want the case to go to court, because if they go to court, if either it will be decided on the papers and then all their claims will be rejected, because the opposite will just say that it's nonsense, and in terms of our rules, that's how it will work. If there's oral testimony, then the expert witnesses will have to come and explain why are they saying, for example, that if somebody reports after they had a vaccine that they're feeling dizzy, why are they saying that this is evidence that the vaccine led to the dizziness or to, in their arguments, to death? They cannot do that because nobody has looked at that. They themselves say that it is important to establish whether there's really a link between the vaccine and any adverse event, but they apply that only to SAPRA and people who have to register the vaccine. They themselves just say, look, this is the evidence. I had a patient, one of the doctors who's the expert says, 4 days after the vaccine, he started getting ill. He died of cancer 2 years ago. And my conclusion is therefore, based on that alone, that he was killed by the vaccine. That's not evidence. It's conjecture. And in the court of law, of course, not necessarily in the court of public opinion, that is never going to fly.
So you're saying there is intangible evidence within these papers to prove their case?
No, there are a few strange things. The founding affidavit, you know, when it's contested issues like this, one would think it would be meticulous. There would be footnotes to say, this is the document, this is the study that we based on. Nothing of that is there. There are claims. The claims are suspicions, really. They are not facts. And in a court of law, the suspicions are not really going to do the trick, because the evidence on the other side is comprehensive. And so you will have to do more than just say, we think that there might be something fishy here. Yeah, it is going to be a bloodbath if they actually go to court here.
Oh, Prof, I just wonder then, are there claims within the founding affidavit, the core papers, that actually contradict scientific consensus in your view?
Yes, yeah. So you know, we do know that if you get vaccinated, there might be side effects. You know, if you get the COVID vaccine, you're going to get a sore arm, maybe a headache. There are rare cases where you might develop something else. But their claim is that there are hundreds of thousands, even millions of people who are at risk of dying, who have died, and so on. There is no evidence for this at the moment. There's only conjecture on their part.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also getting a sense of possible conspiracy theories one may view as if they were to read these documents.
Well, the organization FASA they are known for promoting actual conspiracy theories. You know, the thing that if you take a vaccine or whatever, you turn into a Bluetooth transmitter and so forth. So they are a little bit odd, even by the standards of people who engage in vaccine issues. And so they seem to have made a decision. We believe this causes this, the vaccine causes harm, and then they fit all the evidence and the arguments and so on around that, which is going to be interesting to see if this goes to court.